Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of my fantastic followers and to anyone new that's joined the room today. Now look, for a long time, I've been thinking to myself, what on earth is going on with the system we have in place? I've been scratching my head for years, donkey's years, about this. And I've been, part of the system myself, and I am part of the system. But I've been looking at the numbers, and the numbers for me scream chaos, they scream out of control, and there is no forward plan. We're on a runaway train to disaster. Future generations are going to suffer. It hurts with what the projections are. Now, if I am in a work environment and my trajectory is negative, or there is a problem with where the graph is taking us, we have a sit down and it's either you're out the door or this is what you've got to do to improve that. So for me, having looked at the financial, looked at the budget deficit and looked at the debt pile that the country is sitting on, which is 3 trillion plus, we need radical change and now. So for me, I'm thinking to myself, well, how do we do this? I'm scratching my head at night thinking, how do we go about this? It's all very well saying it, but how do we end up actually eradicating the debt and sorting it out in the first place and getting to grips with the problem that we have? Well, I've located somewhere in the region of 3 to 4 trillion that's locked up in pension funds, okay? People say, oh, well, there'll be legal battles with this and there'll be all sorts of compliance problems and we can't do this and we can't do that. Well, yes, we can if we come together for the greater good. Yes, we can. It's about time we did something about this. Do you know how much this would cost? 100 billion a year in interest debt repayments that we could save is 274 million pounds a day. Think what that could do for starving children and families around the country, let alone just the UK. What about further afield if this was replicated and done as a template and a case study for other countries that are in the same, frankly, quagmire? I like to use that word, don't I? But the same mess that we're in. If I was leading, or if I was running a company, and it's called UK PLC for a reason. UK PLC is a business, and this business is not being run properly, right? And we can all see it. We can all see the wood through the trees. And it's about time that we spoke up and come together and said, well, no, all this legal nonsense and this and this and that and that. Let's actually do something about it. Let's get the debt repaid. Let's take all the money out of pension funds. We'll have a temporary period where we can transfer that money to pay off the bonds, and yes, the gilts and the markets will have to comply with what we're doing. I might have lost a plot here. I may well have lost a plot, okay, but I don't think I have. I don't think I have somehow. I think I'm onto something. I know this has probably been thought of maybe before, but let's look at this as a real solution to the pain and imagine we're flying a plane right now. Everything on that dashboard is flashing red, bright red, right? So let's take the money that's sitting there from these pension providers that, frankly, sorry guys, but what are you actually really doing anyway? Yeah, managing, it's not exactly hard work, is it? You've got a big pot of money and it's being managed. But it's not rocket science. We know exactly what needs to happen there. Let's cut the red tape, let's cut the nonsense, and let's get the national debt cleared. Let's get our credit rating that's set by Fitch, Standard & Poor's and Moody's back to AAA plus instead of where it is now, something like AA or A. Get us back to reset to where we should be. And then if you want to borrow 100 billion and refinance that debt and even take out a loan on 0.00 whatever terms for how many years, at least we could even create some sort of sovereign wealth fund to benefit the youngsters and the people that are going to be coming through the system, as opposed to continuing on this runaway train. Let's get off this runaway train. Let's do something about it, and let's end the suffering and misery once and for all.